Welcome to the Play Big podcast with Coach Curtis Dean. Coach Curtis is a certified life and health coach. Coach Curtis's passion is to help everyone reach their highest potential. If you're stuck in a rut in your career, relationship, or personal growth, Coach Curtis will challenge you to play big through transformational habit change coaching. Coach Curtis will help you clarify your goals, identify your obstacles, and design strategies to overcome them. So get ready, get pumped up, and let's play big. Hey, good evening, everyone. It is Coach Curtis and
Joan.
Hey, how's everybody doing? We are excited to see you guys tonight, to be with you guys tonight, to have some time together. We don't have a special guest tonight other than just us, and I think we're special enough. So I think that's okay.
I know I'm special enough because everything revolves around me. I don't know about anybody else, but hey.
It is true. It is so true. So, and those of you who are married know that's how it works. So, Alyssa said, loves that. Yes, indeed. Oh, love the hat. Oh, yes. Sorry, I'm trying to read. It's not love the hat. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, that's
how about the
I
shirt?
can't read that.
Have you seen the really cool shirt I'm wearing, Alyssa? Some very special friends made this for me. So that's really cool. So we wanted to welcome you guys. Tonight's going to be a special episode. We talk a lot about all the things that Joan and I are involved in, all the things that we do. Beautiful necklace, Joan.
Thank you.
And so we want to talk about kind of how we do it, why we do it, what we do, and how we make it work as a couple, as business partners, and kind of the whole thing, right? Because it's important. I want to start off with reading one of our cards. These cards came from, they're from HCI. They're just affirmation cards, and I try to pull one every once in a while just to make us feel better. And this one says, there is no magic to be found.
Magic.
There is magic. Reading is fundamental as well. There is magic to be found in stepping outside my comfort zone. And on the back, it says, what is one action that you could take today to embrace the uncomfortable? So that's a great question, guys. Give us an answer on there. Type it in. Toya will throw it up for us on the screen. What is one action that you could take today to embrace the uncomfortable? For her, it's being on the podcast.
Yes, definitely.
She's
being
not
comfortable speaking about myself and things, and I get nervous all day. I've been anxious all day, so. But
now you ask her about the grandbaby.
I can talk about my grandbaby all day long.
You ask her about her daughter. You ask her about her cat. You ask her about our pup that we had. Any of those things she can talk all day. But when she has to talk about herself, nice shirt. Thank you, Alyssa. Then it kind of gets to her. So, guys, what is one action that you could take to embrace the uncomfortable? And I appreciate everybody joining us. I know we've got several friends and friends of friends that have joined in. Some people have invited some folks, and we are happy to see you, happy to have you with us. We're going to have a great time tonight talking about basically what it takes to be a couple with a vision, a couple who are always pushing forward, always trying to do something different. And so how we do all we do. So if you have a reason, if you can tell us what action you take to embrace the uncomfortable, some call it embracing the suck. When you have to embrace the suckage. Yeah, that's a lot of it. So,
that's a lot of it.
So tell us if you have anything. What's something that you do that you're uncomfortable with that you have done or you continue to do because you know it has to move you forward, right? One of my coaching clients talks to me about how that it's always going for the yes when she's in a selling situation. When she gets to the end of that conversation, she has to get that yes. She has to get that go to do that. And that's not easy to do for a lot of people. It's not easy to ask for that yes. Sometimes it's difficult to, you've shown them what you have and you've talked to them about it, but actually getting that yes sometimes is uncomfortable. And asking for it.
Yeah. Because in my muggle job, we have to get reservations and stuff. And I am probably, honestly, one of the worst in the company for getting reservations. And I know my limitations, and I tell people all the time, I'm not good at that. How do you don't ask me. I can direct you to people who do it very well, but I do not do that well. So I reach out for suggestions too, but I know that's one of my limitations because I just don't feel comfortable. I feel like I'm forcing people into things.
But she does very good when they're face to face and we're getting that yes and moving to
absolutely. It's over the phone. It's that that wall there. It's
Yep.
the phone. I can't,
Yep.
like, how do you say when you haven't showed them things and talked to them and showed them the actual physical thing that I can't do it?
Alyssa says, I embrace the uncomfortable by keeping the end result in mind. Absolutely. And that's something we're going to talk about a little later. That's actually something I have written down. It's what is the goal and why. That's absolutely right, Alyssa. Having we talk about goals all the time at the Muggle Job, and we talk about them here. We talk about them together. If you don't have a goal, you just have a wish. Just getting out there and saying, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. A lot of times I ask my managers, hey, what do you want this month to be? Oh, I want to do more.
Do more of what?
Yeah, do more of what?
What does more mean to you? What does that mean?
Is it more reservations? Is it, maybe more maybe more retail sold, maybe more this, maybe more that. But you've got to have a definite, I want to do more, and it's got to have some background to it. I want to do more sales. So to do more sales, I've got to see more customers. To see more customers, I've got to make more phone calls. I've got to have that defined goal. So
it's a SMART goal. I mean, if anybody goes back to basic 101, it's a SMART goal. Is it measurable? Is
specific.
it specific, measurable, actionable, realistic,
and
timeable? Oh my goodness, I can't believe I remember that.
But that's it. That's what your goal has to be. We'll talk more about that later. So one thing we want to talk about real quick was I put my link tree up today. I put it on my Facebook page, and I think that Toya is going to shoot it into the comments for us and probably put it on the screen. Basically, my link tree is just a simple place where you can click one button and you can find all of my social media. You can find my podcast. You can find my website, Facebook, YouTube, everything, I think, except Twitter, which I didn't link because I cannot get traction on Twitter. If any of y'all have any great ideas or how to get traction on Twitter, let me know, because it ain't happening for me. But I do really well at all the other ones. I have a lot of traction on those. So if you sometimes think, wow, I didn't get to see all of this and I can't find it, I want to find it on his YouTube, you can click on my link tree and it'll take you directly to my YouTube, my TikTok. That's right, I'm TikToking. So more and more all the time. So we're gonna so that's something that you can do. I also want to talk a little bit again about my Patreon account. The Patreon account is all about getting content that nobody else gets. There are different levels of it. I think there's a $5 level, a $10 level, and a $15 level or something like that. And the Patreon is all about getting behind the scenes content. We're building that up every single day. The biggest thing, for those of you who are coaches who are out there and listening to me, I have the part of my Patreon is a $50 a month membership that you can join, where I help you get to be the coach that you want to be. A lot of coaches just need some nudges. They don't want a full 12-week coaching course that they're going to pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for. So this is something that you can do for $50 a month. And I constantly am going to be putting content on there to help you with your niche, to help you to get on Facebook, to help you get your lives done, all those kind of things. So join us on Patreon. Decide what level you want to be. And all that money just goes to help Joan and I to keep the business growing every single month, because these podcasts cost money. All the stuff that we have to buy, the ring lights and all these things, they cost money. My cool hats, they all cost money. And so make sure that you're helping us with that. Pick a donation and we'll go from there. Okay. Thank you all so much. So we've done our card reading. So we want to talk about how we do and what we do. So let's start with, what do we do? Okay.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. We both have a Muggle job, and we say Muggle job. The reason I say that is because there's no magic to it. I mean,
it's our job, and it does what it does. It helps pay bills. It helps with health insurance. It does what we need it to do.
Right, but it's not our passion, right? So, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you know that the Muggles are the ones who don't have the magic. And so if you're Muggle-born, my job is my Muggle-born job. It's not my passion job. I love it. I enjoy it. I enjoy the people I work with. I think I'm good at it, but it's not my passion job, right? So it doesn't have the magic. It doesn't spark me like my coaching does or my chefing does and those kind of things. But it does. It pays the bills. It's a good company to work for. It gives me insurance. It does all the things that I need to do and still be happy and satisfied, and just doesn't provide the excitement, right?
Right.
And that's not a bad thing at all. It's just the reality of it. Remember, I always say your job is what you were paid for. Your passion is what you were made for. Okay. Your passion's what you're made for. So that is super important to remember. So the second thing we do is we have a chef business, and our chef business actually has 2 prongs. So we can't do anything normal. We actually have 2 prongs. Part of our chef business is Chef Curtis's Creations, which is where we do weekly meal service for folks. If you are busy and you don't have time to come home and cook because your kids are in soccer, one's in soccer and one's in baseball and one's in this and one's in that, or you work late and your husband works early and blah, 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 we can get a menu together for you. We cook all your food for you. We package it for you. We bring it to your home. And then all week long, you can heat and eat. That is the Chef Curtis's Creations part. It's very, very popular here in Jacksonville. People love it. It's not cheap because you're eating chef prepared food and you're getting food that is based on your dietary needs and requirements. Okay. So if you want to be all gluten free, if you want to be all vegan, if you want to be keto, whatever you want to be, we make a menu based around that and we give that to you. Okay. And then the second part of that is His and Her Chefs, and His and Her Chefs is the catering arm of what we do. We just catered a wedding in Waycross. A wedding in Waycross, Georgia, 2 or 3 weeks ago for 50. Well, okay, it was supposed to be 50 folks. It turned out to be about 75 or 80. But we catered a wedding up there, and so we do that. We do weddings, we do small events, we do house parties. Intimate dinners are a really big deal if it's coming up to be Valentine's Day or a birthday or an anniversary, and you don't want to go out and spend it with 100 other people in a restaurant, whether it be because you don't want to worry about COVID and disease, or whether you just want to stay home and be together. We design a menu for you. We do all the shopping. We come in, we cook it, we prepare it all for you, we serve you. And then while you're having your last course, which is normally dessert, we clean everything up and we scoot away. Usually the only thing you have to clean up is your dessert dishes, wine glasses, whatever that might be. And if we stay long enough, we take care of that as well. The majority of our clients say that their kitchen's cleaner when we leave than it was when we got there. So because we pride ourselves on that. So and then technically there's a third aspect, which is the Curious Cupcake, which is all Joan's baking and cupcakes and all that fun stuff.
Yes.
I'm tired just talking. Is it 9 o'clock? No, it's only 8:12. Oh my goodness. Okay. So
then we have
the coaching biz. I've been coaching full time now for a year and a half. I started on my journey, I think when I was 6 years old, but I started training in March of 2019. I was in the March cohort for the Health Coach Institute. Toya says, do you ship the cupcakes? Yes, we can.
Yes, I do. Yes.
As a matter of fact, we can ship them either iced or uniced. You can ice them yourselves, or we can do it all for you. Either way you want. But I started on my journey with the Health Coach Institute, learning to be a certified health and life coach, because I've done this my whole life and I've always helped people. And I wanted to have more than just platitudes to tell people. I wanted to have real substantial things that I could give people to help them get from one spot to the other. And then we decided and what really spoke to me was playing big, right? Because I feel like that's what we've done.
We play big all our lives.
All our lives, especially.
We always go for the ring, the gold. We always reach for the best we can be.
Yep.
It's not about being the best or doing the best. It's about being the best that we can be and the best we can do for everybody else.
Exactly. So that's what we shoot for. So in that, I coach relationships. I coach business. I have a business client I'm working with right now. I have some coaching clients I'm working with. Relationships, business, lifestyle, people who are stuck in a rut and just want to get to the next level. That's what playing big is all about, because so many people don't really know where they want to be or what they want to do. So they know I was talking to someone last night and I said, you know that you're destined for more greatness, but you just don't know what that next step is and how to take it. So we help you get there. I help you in that to help you get there, to know what that next step is, so you can be
and why you
part
want
of
to do the next step. The biggest thing is why. Like, why are you not getting to your next step? Why are you, stuck in that rut? Why? Because once you answer that why question, you're going to have the knowledge of where you need to go next.
You're going off camera.
Sorry.
You got to lean in.
You're over there. I don't want to touch you.
So, and one thing we found out, I think we talked about this a little bit last week with Coach Amy, is 9 times out of 10, the why that you think is the why really isn't the why. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I want to lose weight. Okay, great.
Why?
Yeah, why? And then they say, well, it's because, I want my husband to love me more. Well, why? Well, because he looks at other women. Well, why? And then you go back and back and back and back, and you come to find out it's really not that at all. It's 10 whys back that really have nothing to do with losing weight, and it really has nothing to do with the fact that our husband looks at other women or that your wife looks at other men. It's amazing how when you ask the right questions, you can keep on until you get the right answer. And the right answer sometimes we keep very deep inside, and that's the chef part. There's also the podcast. We do the part. The coach part.
Not the chef
part. Yes.
The coach part.
See, I told you, I confused myself. Then there is the podcast. We do the podcast twice a week. Right now, we're
twice a month.
Damn it.
Oh my goodness, what's wrong with you?
I get so excited. We do the podcast twice a month. And so we're going to stick with that for right now. Maybe in next year, maybe by 2022.
Yes.
We may get to doing it every week. It all depends on the popularity and how well it goes. For right now, we're just going to do it every 2 weeks like we've been doing. And Toya says, yay! So we're going to continue to do that. And it takes time, because, you have to have guests, and I have to meet with my producer, and I have to get with Joan, and we have to decide who we're going to talk to and what we're going to talk about. And, you can't, if you just wait till it's time and push the button, then you don't have good content. So there's a lot that goes into it. And, deciding what your logo is going to be, and deciding, there's all these different things that go into a single night of a podcast.
Courtney. Thank you, Courtney. We love you.
She is so right. She does keep me on track, which is why we're still here 25 years later, 26 technically. She made me live in sin for a year, but whatever.
Must we?
And then social media. Social media takes up a good part of my day.
Yes, it does. He loves social media. He loves being the star of the show. He's trying to make our grandbaby Insta famous. Oh my goodness.
Wait till Saturday. I get her all day long by myself. I'm babysitting.
Poor help, Brinley.
It's great because a few years ago when we were doing the chef business full time, me and one of our cooks, we had to go and we did an event pretty far away. So I was going to be driving for a while. So I told Joan, because she always say, you're always playing on Facebook. You're always playing on your laptop, your iPad. I was like, okay, whatever. So I said, I need you to staff the social media today. I need you to check the DMs. I need you to answer questions. I need you to follow up on phone calls and book gigs. And it was probably noon. She called and she said, I don't know how the hell you do this every day.
I don't. I was like, I can't do this. You need to come home. You got to do this. I'm not good at and I'm not good at social media. I'm really not. That's his forte. We let him do that, and he's good at it.
And it's, you have to put yourself out there. You've got to get yourself out there so that people know you, and you have to do it in different venues. I have so many different friends, so many amazing friends that I've met, some just on Instagram, some just on Facebook, a few on Twitter, not many, but a few on Twitter, and here and there, even on YouTube now. And it's just really cool that you meet all these people. And it's been in the chef part, it's been in the coaching part, and even in my podcasting now. So that's another part of what we do. So getting ready for, and again, when I coach someone, if I have a coaching session at 7:30, I have to go back into my office at 6:30, 6:45 to get ready for that. Because I don't just, sit down 5 minutes before they call me and figure out what I'm going to do. I have a whole sequence of steps that we go through, and I get myself into a mental place to be able to help that person. So I read through last week's notes. I look at what we've been talking about. I look at what this week's sequence is and where it's going to take them next, right? Every sequence is different. Every week is a different step because every week is taking you a step further on your journey. So by the end of that 12-week journey, you have hopefully gotten to the point where either you need to renew because you want to grow even more, or you're satisfied in the point of where you're at so that you can move on and be happy and accomplished in what you've done. So I don't take that lightly. Number one, people pay me a lot of money for it. So I do not take that lightly. I take it very, very seriously. Same thing as I do my food. We don't do cheap food. We do chef-inspired dishes, and you pay for it. So
Alyssa says, when do you sleep? Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah. I have been sleeping more later lately in the last few months than ever. I used to go to bed at midnight and got up between 4 and 5 every single morning. I just never have been a sleeper. So I've gotten more, and now I got to where I sleep sometimes till 6 or 6:30, and I still feel like I'm missing things. So generally, that's when I sleep, 12 to 5. Joan is more of a sleeper. She sleeps more, but she does a lot more when she's up, a lot of times. So, okay. Then, so we've done coaching, we've done podcasting, we've done social media, we've done both of our chef gigs and your cupcakes and both of our muggle jobs. And because she had a few hours a day, she wasn't doing anything.
I do crafts.
She does crafts.
I do necklaces. I do earrings. I do wreaths. I do a bunch of stuff. I'm doing something with like resin now. So this one says family. It's just a little keepsake to put on your mantle or on next to your bed to remind you how much you love your family.
And they can be designed with whatever color you want.
Colors you want. This one's filled with beads. I have one that's filled with sprinkles. I can do
flowers,
multicolors, flowers. I do a lot of different stuff. Hopefully, my goal this week is to get my Facebook Marketplace page up. So be looking out for those. I did those awesome earrings, Toya. I make full sets. I do earrings. I do necklaces. I haven't done bracelets yet. I'm working on trying to figure out how to get the leather to do that. But these are all leather made. So.
And she also can do, yeah, that's right. She also can do T-shirts. No, she didn't do these. Alyssa and them did those for me. Alyssa says, I love mine that Joan made me.
You're
awesome.
Very welcome, Alyssa.
She can do T-shirts. She does some little, almost like little pencil cases or almost like mini purses and stuff. And she can pretty much put whatever you want to on them. She does all that kind of stuff. She has one of those Cricut machines where she can do all those kind of things and put it wherever you want it. All those kind of designs. She paints, she does artwork. I think, I don't know if Nikki's on with us tonight, but Nikki has bought some of Joan's artwork before. So she does artwork. Usually the way I know that it's going to work is when I don't like it. That's how I know it's going to be a hit, when I don't like it, because I am not good at that kind of thing. So she'll bring something out and she's like, oh my God, look at this. And in my mind, I'm thinking, wow, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. But because I've been married 25 years, I'm smart enough to go, holy crap, that's amazing. I love it. And then somebody turns around and buys it, right? And whether it's our Christmas tree design, we have a Christmas tree that's still up, by the way. And
I have 2 that are still up, and we may have a third by Christmas.
I think we can turn this around and show you. It's
keep
plaid
going.
Or something. I don't know.
It's gnomes, red, gray, black, just plaid, just because I thought it was cute.
Yeah, things that she paints or walls that she paints or the other Christmas tree in the other room.
I did the wall behind us too, the brick wall. I painted my living room. So just whatever I'm in the mood for.
Yeah. So I used to wouldn't be able to get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom without turning on all the lights because she would rearrange the furniture on me. So
absolutely, Dozelle. We got to have some T-shirts. You let me know what you want them to say, and I can make that happen.
We can hook them up for you. So we can't both stop talking at the same time.
No, we can't.
All right. So she does arts and crafts. So that's a little bit of what our week looks like.
But now, how do we get it done? How do we get that done and still keep your relationship happy, our relationship happy?
And that's the important thing too, folks, is that because the job that we have now, the Muggle job, is a job that most people work together and live on site. It's storage. So they live on site, they work together. And we started doing that back in 2008. And it's not for everybody. It's really not, because we have friends that they can hardly be in the same room for 20 minutes together, much less 24 hours a day. Joan and I get along to a place where, number one, we always get along well, but number two, we also know when we've reached our limit with each other. Usually,
and we also know when the day is over, that's work stuff.
Right.
Whatever happened at work needs to stay at work. When we walk through our front door, or through your front door to your apartment, if you live on site, it's done. It's time to make time for ourselves.
Right.
Like whatever happened there happened.
But you have to share a common goal. You have to share a common desire. I mean, if she wanted to live in Hollywood and be a model and I wanted to be a dirt farmer in West Texas, it would not work. You know what I'm saying? You've got to have a common desire and a common goal. So how we get that done, number one, is we keep us number one all the time.
Yep. We always come first.
Our relationship always comes first. And when I say our relationship encompasses our children, now my gorgeous grandbaby, and my granddaughter, baby grand, our 13-year-old.
She'll be 13 in August. Yes.
Our 13-year-old. So we have a 13-year-old and a just born. So yeah. But
it's all encompassing. It's all family for us. But we always make the time. I always, in the morning we have a Facebook Messenger group. We always say good morning to each other. We always say we love you to each other. Especially if we can't see the baby or see my daughter or see my son-in-law, it's always, good morning. We love you. Have a great day. We always make time first thing in the morning. We say good morning to each other. We give each other a kiss. It never, you have to do those little things in order to make the rest of your day work.
You do. And you like I said, you've got to make time for each other. You've got to have some quiet time. Like a lot of times in the mornings, other than good morning and a kiss and those kind of things, we don't really talk.
We drink coffee. We get started on our day, doing whatever we do. I play games to get my brain going. He spends time on TikTok now. Yeah. And that's how we start our day. And that's just the way it is.
We have found that one thing, because we don't work together during the day at our Muggle job anymore like we used to. So one thing that really helps is once we get apart from each other is being able to bounce things off each other, because we're really, really bad when we're home together. All we want to do is cuddle. All we want to do is sit on the couch, have a nice glass of wine, watch some mindless TV, and just be together, right? If there's not a night with a coaching call, or if she hasn't decided something she wants to craft, or if we're not cooking for someone. Mm-hmm. So those nights, because they are few and far between, we just want to do that. So there are a lot of times during the day, when we're on breaks and stuff, or especially me, if I'm driving, I use Siri and voice to text. When we're talking about, hey, I was thinking about doing this, or I thought about that, or I saw this, and it reminded me that we need to do that. So we do a lot of that kind of thing during the day, because it's a lot easier when you're not right there together to get distracted.
And as many people say, that's impersonable in
that word, yeah.
Yeah, that it's not connecting. It is connecting, because you're still bouncing ideas off each other. You're not necessarily talking to each other, but you're talking to each other. Right. So you're still getting that quality time about, hey, what do you want for dinner? Then we go to, I don't know, what do you want for dinner? I don't know. Then we ask the kids, what do y'all want for dinner? Because they'll usually come over, and then it's a whole thing. And that sounds silly, but it's just, you're still connecting with each other on that level.
And then the other question is, a lot of people ask us is, why do you do all this? Why do you feel like you need 4, 5, 6 streams of income? And that's what it's all about, guys. It's not just because I love to coach. It's not because she loves the craft, but you turn things that you love into a stream of income. Mm-hmm. And that, folks, is because your 9 to 5 can quit you whenever they desire. We all saw in 2020, all of a sudden, there's no jobs. Everybody's still working from home, the ones that could.
And if you couldn't work from home, then you were out of a job. And now that things are up and running again, they're not taking you back. So now what do you do? Yeah. Now what do you do?
How many cooks and chefs and waitresses and bartenders were out of work because restaurants closed down and those kind of things? You have to have something to fall back on. Toya says, I was fired during COVID after 10 years. Absolutely.
And it's not even COVID. When your job is ready for you to be gone, they ask you for 2 weeks notice. When you decide to leave or you decide to move on to a different aspect of your life, and that they always say, oh, well, could you give us 2 weeks? Could you give a month's notice? But when they want you gone, you're gone. They don't tell you, oh, sorry, we're letting you go in 2 weeks. They don't give you that love, that joy that you give to them.
So you have to be responsible for you, folks. There's something inside of you that sparks your passion. I know I've been talking with Alyssa about something that has sparked her passion recently that she's wanting to do. And I hope it's okay I said that. And so her and her husband are making steps towards that, to do something for their passion. And that's awesome. And Alyssa said, that's the damn truth.
Alyssa works with us in our muggle jobs, and we've all seen it happen. It's just when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. So
yeah.
and then you're at that point of, what do I do now? And then you're like starting, but if you start looking at these steps now and you start looking at what you could do, that's when you start, when you have that 9 to 5, when you have that steady income, then you can make plans to do your passion, that you can make plans to figure out what you want to do to make that extra income. And our extra income, we call it our muggle jobs right now pay the bills.
Yeah.
So our extra income goes to what we want to do. We're going to take a nice 25th wedding anniversary trip and take pictures, and I'm spending a lot of money on things, but I can do that because we have that extra income. So if you get that extra stream of income, go for it. It might take 2 hours every night you have to set aside, and you have to, hopefully your spouse understands, your significant partner, your other, whatever, understands that I'm going to take 2 hours at night and do that to make it better for us later on.
You see a lot of memes, and they'll say people, hi Brinley, hi Megan. There are a lot of people who spend 8 hours all day working for someone else, and they come home and don't spend any time working on themselves. Okay. So you've got to spend time working on yourself. Now, hopefully it's something that you and your significant other, whoever that might be, could do together, or at least be in the same mind, the same mind to do. Like, I can't craft. That's not my gig. God knows I'm not good at that at all, but I can encourage her while she's doing it. If she needs me to hold something in place, or if she needs me to run to the store and get something, it's not like, oh my God, that's your thing. Why am I doing that? We support each other, You also have to think about your children. And for us, our children and our grandchildren, we want to leave them something. Mm-hmm. Megan, turn this part off. I don't want you to hear this. Okay. But we do. We want to leave our children something. We want them, when we're gone, we want them to have more than just memories of us. We want them to have some stability that they can say that Mom and Dad did this for us, mm-hmm. And also, to me, I think it's very important to have a legacy. I've been surrounded by strong men my whole life who left a legacy. My father left a legacy in me. There's an incredible human being by the name of Bobby Horn, who was a police officer here in Jacksonville, who I knew for years, only a few short years, but it was years ago, who still motivates me every day. He had a huge legacy that he left with me. I want to leave a legacy for people behind me that I meant something in this world, that I didn't just take up space, mm-hmm. right? So that's what I want my life to be. So that's through my coaching, and it can be through my food. I mean, food can be life-changing. My coaching life-changing. These little things that, even though they don't seem like much, am I holding that right?
That way.
Can be a lot, because they bring people together. They mean something, okay? That is why we do what we do. And you guys are great at all the different things that you do. How? I struggle with a few things I do, plus balancing raising my tribe. Toy, that's a great point. I was lucky because, like with my chefing, I fell under the group called the American Personal and Private Chefs Association. And there were great chefs who had been before me who could tell me how to do, not the cooking part, but how to run the business mm-hmm. successfully, how to know the right things to do, how much to charge. It was silly things like we have a kit. When we go somewhere, we carry all of our own knives.
It's our traveling circus.
It is. It's our own traveling circus. The only thing we don't usually bring is plates and dishes. Most people have those, unless it's a wedding or something like that. If it's a catering gig, we do. But I would have had no idea what to put in that kit. I was able to work with these other chefs and read what they wrote. These are the things you need to have in your, something as simple as making sure you have Band-Aids and finger cots in there and plastic gloves, because the first thing you're going to do is cut yourself. And I know that for a fact because I did. So those are the kind of things that, were very, very helpful. Then I was also lucky enough to follow up under the Health Coach Institute, which taught me so much about not only being a great coach, but how to run a great coaching business. Plus, I found a tribe. There's a tribe. My cohort and other people outside of my cohort are so amazing and help me every day to know how to be a better coach and run my business.
Yes, Toya, mentoring, coaching, find
absolutely.
somebody that is in the same group that you want to do. There's all these Facebook groups out there. There's all these Instagram groups that have the same goals in mind as what you want to do. Find them and get with them so that way you can ask those questions.
Alyssa says, we struggle a little with time on our muggle job and homeschooling the boys and getting our passion started, but we will do it. That's absolutely right. One thing, I have a business client that I've been coaching for the last couple of months, and I don't know if she's on, I don't know if Denine's on or not, but hopefully if she is, she can tell you. It seems to be really helping her. She's really gotten to, honestly today she said, I can't take any more clients. I literally can't. We've gone from business coaching every 2 weeks to every month because she's grown so fast, so quickly. One of the most important thing is block scheduling, okay? You have to block schedule, and block scheduling doesn't just mean, okay, I'm going to homeschool the boys here, or I'm going to work on my passion here, or your muggle job is defined for you, right, Alyssa? It's basically that 9:30 to 6:30, and however you might break that up. But when you're block scheduling, like you can't just say, okay, I'm going to work on my passion. Well, what part are you going to work on, right? Because even though I have several clients right now that I'm helping, and we have chef clients, I never go a day that I don't work on my business.
Some aspect right. Of the business.
Still growing the business, right?
Sure.
Because that's important. So when you're doing block scheduling, okay, so I want to grow my business. I think, Alyssa, you guys told me you're trying to get into personal training. Is that correct? Getting into some personal training and helping people in that aspect. And so part of your, say you devote 2 hours a day to it, part of that might be to the skill itself, 1 hour, and then 1 hour to growing the business or figuring out how you're going to grow the business when you start it. Mm-hmm. We're working on a daily scheduled time frame and what aspect we will do at night. That's exactly right. That's the way you have to do
What's going to be better for you to do at night versus getting up early in the morning before you go to your muggle job? So what is better for you in the morning? What is better for you at night? Alyssa, you might be better working at night versus Mike likes to work in the morning. That's Curtis and I. Curtis likes to get up first thing in the morning and do all his stuff. I'm not a morning person. I'd rather do it. Okay, sorry, our cat's being like totally.
Our cat's freaking out and chasing its own tail for the first
time.
Sorry, I don't know. God. Sorry.
It was a little weird. She's making some weird noises, so I'm just checking on her. But you have to use your time when you're the best at that time. I'm not a morning person. I'm more of a mid-afternoon person. So on my days off, I like to do that. I'm good between like 11 and 3. Catch me then. I'm at my top right there.
At 3:01, she's taking a nap.
I'm taking a nap. If I'm home, I'm taking a nap. If I'm with the grandbaby now, me and Brindley are taking a nap. And just so you've got to work when you can and when you are. It's a good time for you
when you're inspired.
Yeah,
when you're inspired. And that's the thing. So you're block scheduling yourself out to make sure you're doing the right things at the right time. And Doge just said that responsible people are legacy leavers. And it's not only just responsible people; it's proud people. I'm very proud of where I come from. I'm proud of what I come from. And I know talking to you and Kim, Pastor, that you guys are both very, very proud of your family and what your dad and your mom instilled in you guys. And you are both leaving an incredible legacy for your children and your family. So I'm honored to even know you guys. So that's 100%. So making sure that you're blocking those times out. Like I said, sometimes Joan and I work better when we're not together. But you've also got to make sure that you leave time, that you do play with the kids, that you do get that cuddle time in. They are important. You don't want to look, no one has ever looked back and said, I wish I spent more time at the office. Never, ever, ever. Okay.
I wish I spent more time with my kids. I wish I spent more time with my grandkids. It's as simple as, like I said, we make sure that he leaves earlier than I do for work. So we always make sure we kiss each other goodbye. Have a great day. Love you. Blah, 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 blah. He's usually home before I am. So as soon as I walk in the door, I'm like, hey, I'm home. Kiss and hug, blah, blah, blah.
And when she walks in the door, usually dinner's getting made. And I've got wine poured for her. And in the mornings, whichever one of us gets up first, we make coffee for the other one. We do all those little things because, again, we have to be the most important thing. We make it important to us. And besides that, I want Megan and Mo to see that. I want my granddaughter to see that, the 13-year-old, the Brinley when she gets big enough. I know how to be a good husband because I learned from a good man. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want my children to see, that even though I work my ass off and I have 5, 6 different streams of income, I also make time for them. We have family game night, and nothing made me happier last night than the kids coming over and me just getting to hold Brinley for a couple hours. There's nothing better. With that face, you get her all day long.
I know.
But it's just those times are the most important, because that's what makes those other times are what makes those times happen. What Joan and I talk about is that we want to have a laptop lifestyle. Okay. The chef business is really not geared for a laptop lifestyle, because obviously when you cook for someone, you have to be there. You have to be in front of a stove. You have to be in front of a fryer. You have to be in front of whatever, whether you're making cupcakes, no matter what you're doing. The chef business and the craft business, we can do anywhere.
I can ship from anywhere. There's a post office, there's a FedEx, there's a UPS. I can ship anywhere.
And especially with this resin stuff, it's not something that's huge and big that you have to worry about. So with this, I have a 7:30 coaching call tomorrow night. I do it on Zoom. It doesn't matter if I'm in my office. It doesn't matter if I'm on the balcony at a hotel in, the Bahamas. I'm still giving that same level of service. So we want that laptop lifestyle so that we can travel, we can show the kids a good time, take them out places, have a great life, right? And still be able to make that income, still be able to have the life that we desire. And you're going to need to go turn that off. The TV just unfroze and started talking to us. So we are all about that laptop lifestyle. And that's a business so like with personal training, what Mike and Alyssa talked about, some of that has to be face-to-face, but you can also do videos. You can do conference calls. You can do Zoom videos and have a physical fitness class by Zoom, right? So that you can grow your business that way. So, you might get up and, on a Saturday or a Sunday when you're off work, and you make 6 or 8 videos, and then you push those out during the week. And whether you charge for those or however you do it, you wouldn't necessarily have to be in front of a group.
Right.
What else?
Goodness gracious, that's a lot. Again, the biggest thing is, no matter what you do or what you want to do, if your passion is your job, your 9 to 5, great, love it, do it. Make sure you're doing it for you. Mm-hmm. Make sure you're doing whatever you're doing, 1, that you love it and it makes you happy, and 2, you're doing it for the right reasons.
Right.
Don't just necessarily take a job because that you absolutely hate and you hate getting up to go to work for, just because. Keep that job for what you need it for, but work on the other things that are going to make you happy and where that's going to lead you.
Growing up, so many of our parents settled, right? So many of our parents growing up in the 50s and the 60s and 70s, they bought a house. Dad got one job, and he worked that job for 25 or 30 or 35 years, and then he retired, and 9 times out of 10 died within 5 years of retirement.
Yep.
Right? So his whole life was just that. And so we want to make sure that our life is about more than that. We want to make sure that your life is about more of that. Those of you out there who are struggling with this, I can help you with business coaching. If Deneen was on here, hopefully she could say nice things. We've done great together. We've known each other for years. We used to work together back at CarMax in 2002 and 2003. But now that she has this new gig, I'm helping her. But I can definitely help you with deciding how to get your business to the next level, how to move that along. What are you doing
and
right?
Even what you want to do.
Yeah,
and
even what you want to do.
Why you want to do the things you do. Why you want to leave where you're at now and move to the next level.
And that's the other thing about life coaching, is because it doesn't matter whether it's business coaching. It doesn't matter whether it's about your relationship. It doesn't matter whether it's about you. There's so many different aspects. You just have to decide, I may need to get me right before I worry about getting my job right, right? And we can help you with that. The other thing is, and this is not something a lot of people talk about, and we're bumping up against the clock at 8:44, but there are times when you're going to have to schedule sexy time. You're going to have to schedule intimacy. You're going to have to block time off because that is an important part of your life.
Sure.
Okay.
We did it for years when we both worked very high stress, consuming jobs. Okay, look, I'm getting off at 6, but I have to do this at 8. So we got to do something in between that if we're going to do it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Like
sexy time block. And it's true, guys. And we don't say it to be funny. We say it because it really is true, because a lot of times you let that fall through the cracks. And if you let it fall through one day and it comes a week, and then 2 weeks becomes 3 weeks, and then it's been a month, then it's very awkward. How do you get back to that intimacy? The other part about intimacy is it's not always just sex, right? There's a lot more to being intimate than just having sex. There is, like I said, making each other's coffee, pouring each other a glass of wine. The way our relationship works is I normally cook, she does dishes.
Because Curtis doesn't know how to do dishes.
Because she doesn't like the way I do dishes, but whatever. So that's how we work it. But other things, like there's a lot of times sitting on the couch where one or the others will just turn around and put our feet in that other person's lap, and we just rub their feet, or get a back scratch or a head. Like she loves to have her head. She was a cat in another life.
I swear.
You could just rub on her and she's just purring like a kitten, I tell you. But those are the things that are important. Intimacy is not always sex, but also the sex is important as well. You've got to make sure you're making time for that.
Don't feel bad if you have to schedule that part. If you have to schedule that, because it's also something you can look forward to during the day. Oh, I know when I get home, we're going to eat dinner, we're going to relax a little bit, and then we're going to get a little frisky. And you can think about all that day long, and it's the intimacy. It keeps you going like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to have a great night tonight,
And the other thing too, guys, is marriage is not a rom-com, okay? Marriage is not a romantic comedy. Absolutely. Doe says our time must be prioritized, and that's right. You got so many people who think if you can't have sex for 2 or 3 hours and there's not roses and chocolate-covered strawberries and champagne, then you haven't done it right. Look, at the right time in the right situation, there ain't nothing better than a quickie, folks, okay? And it doesn't matter who's the quickest. Sometimes it's her, sometimes it's you, sometimes it doesn't matter. It's all about taking care of each other.
Exactly.
Okay? So that, like she said, you're looking forward to it. But I said we're going to do something tonight, but then when you get home and there's not flowers, and there's not chocolates, and it's not this big thing, it's not going to be. The kids are going to be home in 15 minutes. We got to get in there and do what we're going to do. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
And enjoy that and make it a joke. Make it fun, because it should be. All that should be fun.
Exactly.
And just making sure, guys, that you're keeping your priorities straight. Like us, I have it printed in several places around the house, that laptop lifestyle. I have a picture, poster, whatever you want to call it. And it's basically a picture of a beach with a beach chair and a glass of wine, I think. And it says
a laptop on it, because I can work from there.
And it says living that laptop lifestyle. That's what we strive for every day. That's when you sometimes forget why we're doing this, when you sometimes come home and go, man, I've got to do another 2 hours of scheduling out my Facebook, or 2 hours of making videos for TikTok, or whatever it is I have to do. You look at that picture and go, okay, but a year from now, where am I going to be? Yep. 6 months from now. When I first started at HCI, I was so daunted by this course when I read this syllabus and saw all the stuff I was going to have to do, and I was like,
he was going to have to go back to school and study.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, it was like a real thing,
See, and I'm the nerd of the family. I would have loved it. And I still might go back to school. I got some things that I might want to take on, and that'll be something else I got to add to my pot. So I'm
That's true.
looking
She
for that.
does have a big goal that she wants to do. So.
I do. So, but it's making that point and making that reason why. And just because you schedule out for 6 months and it doesn't happen in 6 months, don't take it as a fail. Take it as, okay, so why didn't I make it, and what can I do to do it in the next 6 months?
Exactly.
So nothing's ever a fail, and that's the biggest thing you have to remember.
It's always a learning experience.
It's just a learning step. It's just a way to get to your next goal. It's not a fail. That word should not ever be in your vocabulary.
And one thing I've been talking to one of my coaching clients about recently is imperfect action. At least you're doing something. It doesn't
Yes.
have to always be the perfect thing or the absolute right thing, but you're taking steps in that direction. Mike and Alyssa, figure out the next step that you want to do to have that next action. What's going to get you closer to that goal? What do you need to do that will push you to be the best personal trainer that you can be, and doing that kind of lifestyle? It's the same thing with us. You know, the other thing is you kind of have to support each other wholeheartedly. We had, and I know we're bumping up against 8:50. We had a muggle job. We were working together, and it was soul-sucking bad, only because of the management and things like that. And so we lost our job. And I told Joan.
And that's one of the things. They didn't want us around anymore, so guess what?
We're
letting you go.
And we were a couple. We lived and worked there.
What are we going to do now?
So
we were homeless. I mean, we were homeless, we were jobless. Now what do we do?
And again, luckily we had money. So I told Joan, I said, I've been reading about this a lot because I've always done cooking. And people have always raved about my food. And I said, there's this thing called being a personal chef. And I'm trying to explain it to her, and I see her eyes are glazing over. And basically her response is, look, if you want to do it and you feel like you can do it and you feel like you can make it work, then you go do it, and I'll support you with that. Hey, George, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. Hey, Curtis and Joan, better late than never. Alyssa says we definitely support each other. We're making lists and seeing what our next action step is. Absolutely, that's what you do. And make sure you're doing it in your own time frame. Don't rush it because you've seen other people. Don't worry about what chapter somebody else is on. There are coaches that I went through with in the March 2019 cohort that are so far ahead of me, it's not even funny. They are doing $200,000 a year coaching. That's their only thing, and they're loving it. There are coaches who haven't had their first client. They are no better or no worse than I am or the one who's doing $200,000. They're exactly where they need to be today. Okay? Don't get rushed. Don't get pushed off by that. Be in the place that you need to be. Listen to your gut. Do your thing and do what you know is right. Does anybody have any other questions or anything before we close out? I wrote myself a note so I wouldn't forget. Alyssa says we're not comparing ourselves to any others, just doing it our own time and making sure we get it right for us. Absolutely. Exactly. That is exactly the way to do it. So June 2nd is going to be our next broadcast, and we are going to have the amazing Courtney South on with us. She has been a coaching client of mine for the last couple months. She has agreed to come on and talk about her coaching, kind of talk about her journey and what she's been through, how the coaching has helped her. A little bit because I know that sometimes folks don't really understand what we do as a coach. So this will be a time when maybe she can talk about it. We can talk about some of the sequences we've done, some of the exercises we've done, as much as she's comfortable talking about. And hopefully it will get us to help you get to a point where you'll understand more of how I can help you and the ways we do that to help you. So June 2nd will be Courtney. She's been playing big now for 5 or 6 weeks, and she's doing a tremendous job. I am super, super excited to have her on. And she says it's awesome info, y'all. So good, can't wait, and excited to share. Awesome, and we're excited
Courtney,
for you to be
on.
on.
We love you.
Yeah, Courtney was actually in the other job that we were talking about with us. That's where we met her, so she knows all about it.
Sucking.
Yes. You have to. It's one of those management things. It just was. So anyway, we loved what we did. We loved the people we worked with. We loved the seniors that we got to interact with on a daily basis. It was just, the management and how they wanted things run. Anyway, we said all that to say this. That's what we do. It's kind of how we do it. If you have any questions going forward, please feel free to put them in. If you are interested in having a business coach, I'm here for you. We can talk. We basically do a free call. Yes, horrible place. Get it? Yes, it was. Wonderful people, horrible place. We can do what we call a play big call, which is basically a discovery call to see exactly what you need and what program would be right for you. And then we can move forward to that. Look us up. I have my linked tree on my Facebook now. You can look at us on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I don't know. We're all over.
They're all over.
So, and soon we will have Joan and Etsy Shop and a Facebook
marketplace
page.
I think that's what they call it now.
Yeah, whatever it is this week Facebook is doing, so that we can get her stuff out there that you guys want to buy. So thank you all so very, very much for being with us. Looking forward to seeing you on June 2nd with Miss Courtney South, and we're going to talk about her journey and the coaching. And I hope you guys got something out of tonight. I hope it's helped to spur you on to want to do the best you can do for you, because that's all you've got in this life is you. Okay? You do it for you. You do it for your family. You do it for your legacy. Good night, folks.
Good night.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us on the Play Bigger podcast. Coach Curtis is dedicated to helping you grow, thrive, and excel. Playing bigger is more than a tagline, it's a lifestyle. So be sure to tune in every other week for more from the Play Bigger Coach. And check us out online at www.playbigcoach.com. There you can schedule your free 1-hour Play Big strategy session. We look forward to seeing you soon.